Greetings YouTube, I'm the Indian Knight Brian Hernandez bringing you the plant-based news. First in global news, it appears as if we are all screwed as the Earth's atmospheric carbon concentration has reached an irreversible and critical tipping point of 400 parts per million. Ralph Keeling had this to say: "It already seems safe to conclude that we won't be seeing a monthly value below 400 parts per million this year, or ever again for the indefinite future." Scientists have long warned about the dangers of reaching this critical concentration, which include cataclysmic events such as rapidly rising sea levels, food chain disruption, ocean acidification, and extinction. Moving to election news, Jill Stein flip-flops on a healthy and sustainable food system. During her recent presidential debate on Democracy Now!, Green Party candidate Jill Stein went backwards on her earlier comments that implicated animal agriculture as the culprit responsible for America's, quote, not healthy and not sustainable food system. When given the opportunity to drive this point home during the debate, she chose instead to leave the perpetrators unnamed on this critical election issue. 2016 is also the first year that the Humane Party has run a candidate for President of the United States in Clifton Roberts, who has a very different approach to this critical issue. What we still see is that no other U.S. party or presidential candidate explicitly addresses the plain and simple fact that we as a country kill billions of innocent beings indiscriminately. And this killing, the techniques used to kill, the environmental impact it causes, the human illnesses it maintains, and the social inequalities it treasures has been accepted as normal. Dancing around this issue is illogical, and our public servants need to exemplify a pure and non-negotiable position on the matter. Moving to California, you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. And it looks like that's exactly what's happening right now in California, where dairy sales are doing so poorly that dairy farmers are actually converting their dairy farms into almond groves. Why, you ask? Well, consumers are done with dairy and the numbers don't lie. Within the past year, almond milk sales in the US have risen by 4.2%, reaching just shy of being a $1 billion industry. Consumption of dairy, on the other hand, has been facing a steady decline for decades. Today, Americans consume 37% less dairy than they did in 1970, and in the past year alone, consumption of low-fat milk plummeted by 13%. According to an article in the Idaho Statesman, the real blow to dairy is the widespread replacement of cows for almond groves. Moving to the UK, Morsy lived by his song "Meat is Murder" and actually banned all meat products from his show in Manchester on Saturday night. The devout vegan has made it mandatory that all of his gigs are strictly vegetarian, and it was the same at his only UK gig of 2016. There were signs posted around the Manchester arena stating, "At the request of the artist, there will be no meat products available tonight." Part of his set, "Meat is Murder," was played to a backdrop of gruesome video footage from slaughterhouses. After the video was shown, a large screen asked the crowd, quote, "What's your excuse now?" Many took to Twitter with mixed reactions. Oliver wrote, "Morsy was a good concert. Shame about the Meat is Murder rant in the middle though. Was too in your face, didn't go well with his set." Rochdale Girl wrote, "After seeing Morsy's Meat is Murder gruesome montage last night, I'm not going to eat meat again." And Daniel Bardsley from Oldham wrote, "I was on the verge of becoming vegetarian anyway, but the video just reinforced my opinion." Morsy famously canceled the show in Iceland last year, claiming the venue refused to stop serving meat. Hampton Creek is back in the news with another controversy, and this one doesn't look good for the vegan manufacturer. For a while now, reports have suggested that the reality at Hampton Creek doesn't match its carefully crafted image. The story by Olivia Zalesky, Peter Waldman, and Ellen Hewitt alleges that Hampton Creek's founder Josh Tetrick orchestrated full-scale subterfuge to mislead investors about how much eggless mayonnaise his company was selling, sending dozens of shoppers to grocery stores to buy out their inventory, and concealing the scope of the buyback program in financial documents. The company faces an investigation by the U.S. Justice Department into whether it committed fraud, as well as allegations it misrepresented its product's impact on the environment. Josh Tetrick had this to say, quote, "We're aware of the informal inquiry and will be sharing the facts as opposed to the inaccuracies reported by Bloomberg." Moving to celebrity news, Harley Quinn has announced that she's gone vegan. No, not this one, that one. In a recent interview, actress Harley Quinn Smith, daughter of Kevin Smith, who directed cult classic films such as Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Clerks, and Dogma, announced that she went vegan 4 months ago. The 17-year-old actress reveals that her decision was inspired by her connection with animals. Quote, "I've always had such a passion for helping animals. So as I got older and expanded my knowledge of how cruel the meat and dairy industries are, I decided that it would be worth the sacrifice if it would mean that I would be helping animals in a very significant way." Smith admitted that giving up products like ice cream and cheese were initially difficult, but has since found that the abundance of vegan options has made it very easy to move on from animal products. Moving to health news, a popular magician has a new magic trick to make 100 pounds disappear.
Magic, 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 magic.
Let's hear from Penn Jillette of the popular magic duo Penn and Teller.
From a Las Vegas magician. You are an idiot and you deserve to die. was really, really fat. I was American. They wanted to do a stomach sleeve on me. They wanted to force me medically to not be able to swallow as much. I decided to try something even more radical. I picked 2 weeks to eat a mono diet. And I ate 2 weeks of potatoes, and after that, my habits had changed. And right now it's been 17 months, and I eat no animal products, no refined grains, extremely low salt, sugar, and oil. I eat a lot of salads, fruits, occasional nuts. Nuts are the only thing you can get in trouble with. They'll give you a lot of calories. And one of the things I learned in this diet was, you can just not eat once in a while. And for 17 months, I've kept the weight off.
Moving now to SeaWorld, the once popular water park has now started halting payouts to its shareholders. The infamous water park, which has been the subject of much scrutiny after the 2013 documentary Blackfish, recently saw a dividends plummet of 53%, dropping from 21 cents a share to 10 cents a share today. The troubled water park declared that it will suspend payouts to its current shareholders, and furthermore, the drop in dividend value prompted a 7% share value decrease. And finally, Oprah Winfrey has urged her 33 million followers to go meatless after an appearance from Wayne Picell, the president of the United States Humane Society. Winfrey credited Picell's new book, The Humane Economy: How Innovators and Enlightened Consumers Are Transforming the Lives of Animals, for raising her awareness about the connection between animal suffering and human consumption. Picell discussed the, quote, schizophrenic relationship we have with animals, proclaiming to love them while continuing to exploit them for food, fashion, and entertainment.
You can have synthetic fabric, you can have natural fiber coats that have all of the functionality of fur. You can be warm and you can be stylish, and we don't need to kill 40 animals by catching them in leg hole traps or raising them on a mink farm. Now, most people who buy a fur coat do not want to be cruel. But now that you've got an option that is a functional equivalent or that's superior, it's a simple choice for us. But it's game-changing for the animals. I mean, it's their whole life.
20 years ago, when Oprah publicly stated that she was swearing off hamburgers, the meat industry sued her. The pledge had caused beef futures to plummet. She won the case and famously said,
I will continue to use my voice. I believed from the beginning that this was an attempt to muzzle that voice. And I come from the people who have struggled and died in order to have a voice in this country.
She also triumphantly proclaimed that, quote, I'm still off hamburgers. In my opinion, Ms. Winfrey, you need to stop the half-hearted advocacy, because there's no way you're fitting new planets under the chairs for your studio audience. We want to hear from you. What's your response to the Earth's critical carbon level, Jill Stein's flip-flop, or Oprah Winfrey's Meatless Mondays? Let us know in the comments below, and for my breakdowns on voting vegan in the 2016 election, click the link in the description box. This has been Brian Hernandez, The Onion Knight, bringing you the plant-based news.